Yo, what is up everyone? Bullitt Gaming here today, and today we are back in Project Flight, and today we are doing the final landing at Southampton Airport. So today we are currently in Waterford, Ireland. This is an airport in Ireland. It's not an airstrip like they have it here. It's more of an airport that has runway numbers and everything. But here in the game, they have at least an airstrip, so at least Ireland has some sort of airport. But here we are today at Waterford, and we're with Air Sprint in a Cessna Citation here, with the registration of Charlie Foxtrot November Alpha Sierra, and we're going to be, like I said, heading out to Southampton for a final flight into there. So, Southampton is... where's Southampton? Southampton's over there. So we're going to be heading out over there. So we're going to be taking off from over here, which will take us and spit us out over to there. We're then going to go around back as if we're going toward Menorca. At about Menorca, we're going to then turn toward the island again, and then we'll come in for a straight-in approach into Southampton. So that is the plan for today. We are Air Sprint, Flight 313, and yeah, so let's get started. Also, congratulations to me for getting 2 million flight hours. That is a lot of dedication. But anyway, we need to first start up the engines here. Well, first off, actually, before we even do that, we need nav and logo lights on, and then, of course, the beacon light to let everyone know that we're starting. Let's get the engine started here. We already had a flight in from Gatwick earlier today. We're coming picking up some passengers who rather, instead of driving like across Ireland to an international airport, rather just go to their portion of the airport and to their destination airport, which is also kind of a smaller airport. It's better than going all the way around to like Gatwick after you drive all the way to like a big airport. It's better than going all the way to Gatwick, having a layover, than having a flight out to Southampton. It's more direct and generally better for them, so yep. And our engines are now fully on. Let's get our taxi lights on here. Let's get our flaps also set. And there we go. We are good to start taxiing here. It's definitely been a while since I've used this aircraft. For those of you wondering, yes, this is a Roblox aircraft. I don't remember the price, but I will have it up on screen for those of you who want it. I also have a review on the aircraft, which I'll have in the little corner, so you guys can check out the review on it. Personally, if you have enough Robux, buy something else. Don't buy this, but you guys can go check out the full review for all the reasons as to why. But anyway, we're going to taxi over here to the runway that has no number. That's what I'm just going to call it. Getting pretty dark out here, and this airport does not have lighting, so we definitely want to get out of here pretty quickly. Let's see, let's get our strobes on, and then we'll get our landing lights on once we get on the runway here. So let's turn over to the runway. Let's get our landing lights on there. Beautiful. We're going to line up here, and then we'll get ready to take off. And of course we have immediate clearance, so there we go. Perfect. So like I said, we're going to be heading out over here, out toward Menorca, then back in towards Southampton, so it'll be an interesting flight route here. Shouldn't be too long of a flight, but the passengers paid a little bit extra so that they could get in-flight beverages and stuff like that. So we're going to be definitely in the sky for a tad bit longer so that they can get all their food and whatever else. And there we go, we have liftoff. Let's get everything else back on except the landing lights there. Beautiful, and we'll wait till we get a little bit more speed before we throttle it back a little bit. Alright, so let's throttle back to about 80% throttle there. And we'll get flaps up at about 200 knots here. We're going to cruise at about, let's go 11,000. Actually, you know what? ATC, if we could go a little bit lower. Just feel like 11,000 for this flight's going to be a bit high. Alright, and after permission from air traffic controllers, we have been cleared for 8,000 feet, so we're at 6,000 about now. We'll set the autopilot for about 8,000 here. We got 4 passengers on board and 1 flight stewardess. So we'll just wait a little bit as they do their thing in the back, or as she does her thing in the back. And then, like I said, we'll come out over to Minorca, probably around parallel-ish to the airport. We'll turn around. And we are now at cruising altitude. Perfect. So we're going to throttle it back to about 50% throttle there. And we're going to let the air stewardess know that she is able to start handing out meals here. And all in-flight meals and beverages have been served. Now they should be finishing them up about now, so she'll probably go collect trash shortly. We've asked ATC for clearance to descend, and we have gotten that clearance, so we're going to start a descent down. Minimums are 1,300 feet, so we're going to set it to about 1,300 there. We're going to unset the throttle, and we'll the heading, and we'll manually find our heading into there. We're still high enough above Minorca Airport that we don't interfere with any of the traffic, which is good. At about, I think, 6,000-ish, we'll start turning towards Southampton there. But there's Minorca Airport there, soon to be gone. So I guess we got a nice sky and night view of the airport there. Anyway, we're about at 6,500, so I'll start the turn over to Southampton. Alright, and Southampton is about dead ahead. Our landing speed will be at about 125 knots, and again, our minimums are 1,300 there, so we're going to still descend down to about 1,300. Once the airport is in sight, we can descend further, and we can start our final approach into Southampton. Hopefully the airport will soon load in, as we've just passed Minorca, so we are getting pretty close, so hopefully both Southampton and Gatwick will load in shortly. And we have approached minimums, but the airport is indeed in sight, so we will continue descending through minimums to about 500 feet here. Let's see, you gotta fix the airport lights, I think. Yep, there we go. Airport lights are fixed, there we go, perfect. Alright, so there's the airport. Again, we are descending through minimums. We're gonna set the throttle to about 225. But actually, since we're closer than I thought, I'm gonna set it to about we'll go 165 before we set it down to the final speed that we need for landing. Airport's straight ahead there, so we're going to be heading straight in to Southampton. And now let's get them set to full there. Beautiful. Let's get the gear down here. Passengers have already been told to stow all big objects and prepare for final approach and landing. So there we go. Let's get landing lights on here so we can see a little bit better there. There's the airport dead ahead. We're a little bit low, so we're going to pull up a tad bit there so that we're not too low. And we're about 350 feet here. We'll soon unset the throttle as we get closer. Alright, and let's unset the throttle there. We'll keep the throttle at about 35% here as we descend down to the runway. Alright, and here we are straight into 02. 20 feet, gonna retard the throttle there. 10 feet, and touchdown. 30 feet per minute butter. touchdown at Southampton Airport at 11:14 at night. And that is our final landing into Southampton Airport. We're now going to head toward gates 3 to deboard the passengers. They have 2 checked bags, so we're also going to have to get those checked bags off. But yeah, after that we're going to head out for a flight to Kitla. But yeah, that is our final landing into Southampton here. So I think that is going to be all for today's video. If you guys did enjoy today's video, then please leave a like and subscribe, as it does help me out. And then don't forget to join my Discord down below so you know when I'm posting videos like this one. With that, everyone, have a great day, and I will see you guys again next time. Goodbye.